Great Northern in Byron Bay. Just Seven's on now performing, and then Six Dog about to get up there. It's a numbers party tonight. And this is my DJ Matt Kant. He's getting warmed up, listening to his missus.
What's up, Splendor?
This is the story of 360 and how he climbed his way to the top of the Oz rap scene and experienced some of the highest of highs and lowest of lows. 360 grew up in Melbourne. As a kid, he idolised Larry Bird and Michael Jordan and had dreams of playing in the NBA. He used to obsess over basketball and play nearly every night until at 18 years old he caught a disease in his eye that affected his vision. This forced him to focus more on music, which he was doing as a hobby, and he stated that he started rapping at 14 years old.
I started when I was 14, just as like a little hobby,
right,
and just freestyling and battling and stuff like that.
One of his earliest influences was Harlem rapper Big L. It was also around this time that he met fellow Melbourne rapper Pez. He started to take music a lot more seriously, although he was still working the odd job. For example, at one stage he had a job at Jim's Mowing and even started a carpentry apprenticeship, but it just wasn't for him. Then, in 2003, we heard 360 on his first ever official release, on Infallible's Situation Critical with the legendary Hunter.
You said to me, you stepped to your idol. My lyrics stay discreet like celebrity titles. Showing you cats, I've got the masters.
First official song I've ever done.
Yeah, so
it's with Hunter, Trials, Infallible. It was called Situation Critical, I'm pretty sure. Man, that's a trip out, like to do a song with Hunter.
It was also around this time he started working with Trem and Lyrical Commission at Uncut Records. He then parted ways with Uncut Records, stating that it just wasn't for him and he wanted to take his music in a different direction. Then in 2004 he released a 4-track EP titled Rarities. You can find this on YouTube. It also introduced us to the legendary group Forthright, but I'll touch on this group in another video. Also around this time he was entering in a lot of freestyle battles. He even entered the World Rap Championships and made it to the finals with Anecdote. At the time, Pez also managed to convince him to quit his job and focus solely on music.
Pez told me to give the shit away. Fuck work, there's something bigger we can chase. Taught about belief and the difference it had made. Little did he know I would quit within a day.
This whole time, his music was starting to make noise and he was gearing up to drop his debut studio album titled What You See Is What You Get.
Close the city, you know I'm representing Dipper in my clothes and dimmy. Hey yo, we think we're top shit cause we're mates with a bouncer. We're walking straight.
While the album did reasonably well, with tracks like How Good featuring Pez, Tormented Kid, Mamma Mia and Beautiful Place, 360 himself wasn't happy with the outcome of the album. Before the album, he wrote out a list of goals he wanted to achieve and didn't achieve many of them. But it was his next move that gained him the most attention, featuring on Pez's smash hit single The Festival Song. It became the most requested song in the history of Triple J and got played on radio stations all across Australia. They both capitalised on all the attention they were getting and dropped a mixtape together titled The Forthright Mixtape. The mixtape was received well. It started to gather them a decent fan base and even featured fellow Melbourne rapper Seth Sentry. While their music was gaining a lot of attention, it left the hip-hop community divisive, as there wasn't many people doing music like 360 and Pez at the time. They copped a lot of criticism from the older OG rappers. 360 even dissed the Hilltop Hoods, which he addresses on his song Bring It.
For it, when I looked at the risk, I got balls, jumped up and dissed the hoods of the geek. Now a bunch of dudes, when they see me, really want to break my jaw, but the hood status is exactly what I'm aiming for.
He then didn't release any music for a while. I think he was yet to find his true sound and went away and did a lot of work behind the scenes to try and find that sound. Around this time, battle rap in Australia was also starting to take off. 360 was a key factor in making that happen.
You ain't human, homeboy, you just walking pig fat.
Around the time he was making a name for himself in the battle scene, he released a series of mixtapes titled Please Be Seated. These mixtapes were definitely a different sound for 360. Throughout the mixtape, he was rapping over a lot of electronic and dubstep type beats. He was also remixing a lot of popular songs at the time, including Electric Feel.
The world ain't got nothing over me, nah. Yo, I'm looking for some heads to kill. Step to the 6, you can test your skill. Bring them all.
And Tiny Temper's Pass Out.
Right. Pretty loose, A6. Yeah, mate, I reckon. I'll pass out drunk on the stairway to heaven.
This was a massive step in the right direction for 360, and it was definitely the sound he was looking for. These tracks became extremely popular and gained 360 more of a fan base than he already had. He was also copying a lot of hate from some of the hip-hop community as it wasn't the traditional boom-bap sound. This is something I admire about 360. He stuck to his guns and continued making the music that he wanted to make. He also started Rapper Tag, which became an internet sensation. This featured massive artists such as Hilltop Hoods, Bliss and Esso, Illy, Dielectrics and many more. He then announced he was working on an upcoming album with hip-hop producer Styles Fuego, and he dropped his first single off the album titled Just Got Started featuring Pez, which peaked at number 59 on the ARIA charts. He then dropped another single titled Throw It Away featuring Josh Pike. Both these tracks got picked up by Triple J Radio. The buzz around 360 at this time was electric, something like we've never seen before. He then dropped his next single titled Killer, which peaked at number 87 on the ARIA charts. Then, on the 30th of September 2011, he dropped his highly anticipated album Falling and Flying. This album was a huge success, peaking at number 4 on the overall album ARIA charts and is now certified 2 times platinum. The album turned 360 into a superstar. It also gained him 7 plaques, including the 4 times platinum single Boys Like You.
Yeah, the success that Falling and Flying had in itself was just something I never expected on that level. Like, I did think we were going to do some really good things with it, but I never, ever expected it to do what it did, you know what I mean? Like, to go to think that, you know, every single we released was smashed on the radio and the platinum records and stuff like that, it just blows my mind looking back, man. It doesn't even real, you know.
The album had a very melodic pop style approach to it, which broke down a lot of barriers for other artists. He dropped 3 more video clips for the album that did massive numbers, including Run Alone, Child and Hope You Don't Mind. On top of the success of the album, he sold out a national tour and opened up for Eminem's Australian tour. The album also earned him his first ARIA award with Best Breakthrough Artist and Best Hip Hop Release.
360!
Nominated for 6 ARIA Awards this year, this is 360's first win for his second album, Falling and Flying.
Also around this time, he had his legendary battle with Cursor. I've made a whole video about this if you want to check it out on my channel, so I won't touch on it too much. The album also gained 360 a lineup on a lot of festivals, including Splendour in the Grass. While the album was a massive success for 360, it also took a toll on his body, as he was using drugs and drinking quite heavily. Then, after a few years of touring the album and doing festivals all across the country, he teamed up with legendary Silverchair frontman Daniel Johns and dropped a single titled Impossible. He then dropped 2 more singles, one titled Six Savelli and the other one Live It Up featuring Pez, which peaked at number 21 on the ARIA charts and is now certified platinum. Then on the 13th of June, he dropped his 3rd studio album titled Utopia, with a massive single, Price of Fame, which is now platinum. There was no slowing down for 360. Again, the album was a massive success, with features from Pez, Bless, Daniel Johns and Gosling. The album peaked at number 2 on the overall ARIA charts. The album also gained him the cover of Rolling Stones magazine. But while he was having so much success in music, behind the scenes, 360 was battling drug addiction. Just before he went on his national Utopia tour, 360 overdosed on Nurofen Plus and had to cancel the whole tour.
So this was like, you picture my suitcase, which is full of clothes and boxes of Nurofen Plus. In Byron Bay, I had 4 and I overdosed. I just fell on the floor and I was convulsing and like I nearly died.
So the whole tour was actually cancelled?
Yeah, the whole tour was cancelled. It was very, very bad. It was brutal for me. It fucked up a lot of shit. Like I had to go to rehab.
He then completely rescheduled the tour. It also had a massive effect on his mental health and he got completely cleaned from drugs and alcohol. He released 1 more track titled Unborn Child before blessing us with his track I'm Sorry, spitting some home truths over the XX intros beat. This track was an apology to all his fans and explained what was going on. It now has over 13 million views on Facebook.
What I'm making is really dope, but I need to talk about some shit that happened a year ago. Hold up, let me clear my throat. Yo, I'm about to get deep, but I really hope you feel it though.
This track was also featured on an upcoming mixtape titled Please Be Seated 3, which he dropped in 2016. He then dropped 6 promo tracks for his upcoming album within the space of 3 months. Only one of these tracks made the album, and that was Tiny Angel, which now has 1 million views on YouTube. He then dropped 2 more singles, including Yesterday and Coup de Grace featuring Pez and Seth Century. Then in October of 2017, he dropped his 4th studio album titled Vintage Modern. He'd originally recorded a whole album over trap beats, but decided to go against it and record an album that was going to be more modern and timeless. On top of this album's success, he also managed to sell out a national and regional tour after he thought he'd lost it all. The album also peaked at number 3 on the ARIA album charts. Here's what he told DJ Sanchez in an interview via The Lesson about the album.
Like, every show's been sold out, and every single show's just been mental, like really blown my mind, to be honest with you. Like, I didn't expect it. I thought it was going to be great, but I didn't expect it to be what's been happening.
Yeah, wow.
You know, like, I didn't expect everyone to be rapping and singing along to every single song off the new album and stuff like that.
We then didn't hear any music from 360 for quite a few years, as he respectively went away to work on himself. He says today that he still battles with mental health issues, but takes it one day at a time to improve himself. Then in 2020, 360 began uploading YouTube videos of himself making music and even dropping us with a track titled Stand Alone.
Ain't religious at all, I used to detest it, but I'm so desperate that it's even got me praying lately. Lost friends who I thought gave a fuck about me. Now my vice.
He then started Rap Attack Season 2, which has already got names like Complete, Shadow and Nerve involved. He's also teased us that he's been working on more new music. Love him or hate him, what 360 has achieved in his career has made him one of the most successful and game-changing artists of our generation. I think I can speak for all 360 fans when I say that I hope he gets in a better headspace soon and blesses us with more new music. Until then, we can sit back and enjoy the great catalogue he's given us over the years.
You would never think to go here. You're gonna have a grin for both ears. When you finally find this place you can hide away while we live with no fear. What's up, Splendor?
I'd like to thank, of course, 360, DJ Sanchez and everyone at The Lesson, Australia's Hip Hop Connect at AU Dollars. Please like, subscribe, comment and share. This has been another short film by Desired Oz Rap. Thank you.